welcome to our Skip Live to talk about the latest grants. Thanks for joining everyone who's joining today. And as always, would love to hear where you're watching from. Drop in your city or your state. And the reason I ask for that is because our team looks for grants on a daily basis. And a lot of the times we look specifically where you're located. So it's really important. Man, we've got a ton to go through today. You can see all the tabs I have up here on my screen. I said 5 in the title here, but there's actually more grants that we're going to get through today and some surprises as well. So everyone who's tuned in early, thanks for tuning in early. And we've opened up this video today. We invited a lot of Skip members to join us, but we're also opening this up. So feel free to leave a comment and of course, ask questions because I want to try to answer as many specific questions as possible. If you have questions about this grant, this 15K grant that I've got up on the screen, or this $500 grant, our $500 grants, or this $2,000 grant. Anyway, we've got tons of grants that are now available. It's really incredible. I don't want to brag about the number of grants we have, but honestly, like for those of you who've been tuning in for months and months, and we've been doing grants for 3 years, just about 3 years. We've never had more grants on a consistent basis. So huge thank you to our Skip team. Huge thank you to all of you for being Skip supporters and Skip members. It really means a lot. So I'll give some shout outs here in a minute, but I just want to tee up what we're going to talk about over the next 30 minutes. And all of these grants that I'm talking about today, they're all on the Skip app and the Skip dashboard. So whether you're watching from your phone or your computer, you can go to the app and see all these. Plus, I've included some bonus links in the description. So if you want to directly go to the Wish, this new Wish grant, first time I've talked about it today, I'm going to talk about this, or the Women of Color grant program, or the Verizon grant. Let me get to the Verizon grant, wherever it is. This is a big one because it's open to all businesses. A lot of these are for women-owned, minority-owned, but the Verizon grant is open to everyone, and you've got a little bit of time to apply for those. So if any of these are already on your radar, you have questions, now's the time to ask. I'll try to answer as many as possible. Our goal is always to help you discover the opportunities. So you can see on the dashboard here, we have 22 opportunities that are up that you'll be able to see. And we update these throughout the week. So I know many of you already have a habit of coming back daily and checking any new grants. So that's really amazing. And we've got some new partners that we're putting in here. So I'm going to start at the top. I'll start with, let's see. I'll start with our grants here, but I just want to give a shout out to California. We've got a few of you in California, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona. Where else? Virginia, New York, where I am today, Illinois, Ohio, North Carolina. Good to see so many of you and a lot of familiar faces. Texas. Did I miss any states? Drop it in. I'll give you a shout out. And Alaska. Good to see you. And good to see so many of you I know have the app. If you have feedback, since many of you are members, longtime supporters, I want you to feel connected to our team. So if you have feedback, you want to see more things, you can always email app@helloskip.com. And Michigan, Oregon, and Illinois. I already said Illinois. So I think we got maybe 20 states here already. So, and thanks for the kind words. Send the shout out to the team. So first of all of you that are Skip members, you may or may not know this, but we've been doing grants for almost 3 years, 30 months now. We've donated over $200,000. Typically our grants are $1,000 or $5,000 or $500. If you're a member, you automatically get entered every month to our grants. We pick winners usually the last Tuesday of every month. So this month we're giving out 5 $500 grants. It's the easiest possible grant to enter. All of you that are members, you've already been entered. If you don't see it on your dashboard today, it will be there soon that you've applied. So just to say that off the bat. And yeah, so here we go. We're going to pick winners live here in 2 weeks. So that's April 25th. So, and I'll be live next Tuesday as well. Of course, my birthday's next Monday. So celebrate, and maybe we'll do a special live the day after my birthday next week. Okay. I want to start with this one that's due in 2 weeks. It's the Women of Color Grant Program. I haven't talked about this yet. It's Fearless Foundation and Tory Burch. Many of you know about these organizations. They're going to award 75, this is a good one, 75 deserving women of color between 10K and 20K, not only for grants, but for self-paced learning portal. A lot of these programs will give you the money, but you're going to have to learn a little bit as well, which I think is a good idea. You know, a lot of you, when we work with you one-on-one, that's what you value, the connection, getting, learning, basically what to do with the money once you get it. So this Women of Color Grant Program, oh, by the way, I want to say this off the bat. For the first time today, I'm going to tell you how many people have entered these grants. It's really cool. So if you're curious, hey, is this popular or not on Skip? I'm going to tell you. So let me see how many people have entered this one here. We've had about 400 people interested in this. So just to say, it's a more popular one. You need to apply by April 28th. Again, you must be 51% or greater women of color owned. Let me briefly show you the application to keep in mind. Goes through the eligibility, the timeline. So it closes on Friday, April 28th. It just opened last week. July 2023, this July, recipients are notified. And then in August, there's a little component like incubator type program that starts. So take a look, see if you're interested in it. Like I said, it's fairly popular. I'm looking at the data here. Let's see here. So I'd have to register, register through it. And I forget if they use Typeform or what they use, but it's not a very complicated application. Has anyone so far gone through this application? Would love to hear if you've gone through this. Because of the interest, if you mark that you're interested in this on the app, we may decide to do a full video dedicated to helping people with this. So if this is on your radar, like if we get over 500 people interested in this, maybe we'll do a dedicated webinar for you guys. Okay, so that's the first one I want to talk about. The second one, actually the first one was our grants. That was the second one. The third one, actually this is the bonus intermediary. For those of you who got EIDL loans, just want to say it for a PSA, this has been hugely popular. If you want to lower EIDL payments, you can do that. Not only for 6 months, but for a full year. I'm going to talk about that in detail 24 hours from now on tomorrow's webinar. I'm going to talk about EIDL hardship accommodation. I'm going to answer any questions you have. If you're above 200K, over 200K, your portal, the SBA portal. But if you are making payments on EIDL loans and you want to lower them by get to 10% of what you're paying now for a full year and free up cash flow, it'll free up near-term cash flow. In the end, you'll pay more in the long run, but it's a decision a lot of you are interested in. So I just want to plug that again. We have details on the app for this, but if you have questions about this, I'll answer them in detail tomorrow. And that's only for members tomorrow, by the way. This is not going to be open to the public. All right. So that's the third one there. Employee retention credit, many of you are aware of. We've just listed that because it's very popular. In fact, let me tell you how popular it is. We've had 2,200 people indicate their interest, and this has only been up for about a week on the app. So that's very popular. 600 of you have indicated that you're interested in the EIDL hardship. So I'm bringing it up. How many of you are interested in this new one? I haven't talked about this too much. It's due April 30th. The Duen Dream Tech Contest. After this one, I'll talk about the Verizon one, which is open to everyone. But first, let me tell you about this. Almost 600 people are interested in this. $40,000 in Dell technology from Dell. So Dell and Microsoft have partnered together. You must be a DWEN member. Not a very catchy acronym, but is what it is. You must have an existing business with up to 100 employees. Must be female founded or co-founded or women-owned. So this is for women-owned businesses. And if you're shortlisted, you may be asked to create a video and compete in a public voting competition. And by the way, any public voting competition, we can get the Skip community behind you. So if you ever see public voting, whether it's a grant we found or something else, let us know, because we'll get the support of the community here. So here is the Dell application. Again, 600 of you are interested in this. Win up to $40,000 in Dell technology to take you forward. Applications open in March. They close at the end of this month, April 30th. And here are the grants. Grand prize winner will receive $40,000 in Dell technology. Second place, $15,000. Third place, $5,000. But that's not all. There's more. There is more. It's more about learning programs. And top 40 finalists will receive a custom white paper, and 4 lucky finalists will have a consult with the grants advisors. So 40 finalists there. So give it a go. Take a look through. And obviously, if, as a member, as a one-on-one member, if you've identified this or any of the other ones and you want help with them, please ask us. Let me see if there's any questions here, comments. So LaRuth asks, I'm a new member. How do you apply for the $500 grant? So LaRuth, you'll see, if you don't see it yet, probably in the next day or two on your Skip app or dashboard, you'll see that you're already applied. So you don't need to do anything. We've got you covered. You're going to be entered as a Skip member. So you're all set there. Glad to hear you're all set with the learning. A lot of you like the learning part. Thanks for chiming in. Let me read a comment before I go to the Verizon grant. So Miss Janae, good to see you. Would like to educate you more about how to serve owners with disabilities and be able to help them. They deserve to be able to get grants as well. Absolutely. And would love to hear specifically what you have in mind there, how we can help more business owners, especially getting the information. So would love to hear more. So let me go to the Verizon grant. This is not due till May, but it is a big one. It was one of the most popular ones last when we talked about it. So already 1,300 people have entered, and we haven't even, I don't think I've talked about it in a video yet. So let me read it. In partnership with NextStreet and the LISC, Verizon is providing $10,000 grants and online resources to small businesses. So you must register on the Verizon digital portal, and you must complete a course. So they did this last year as well. So I think some of you actually maybe won this last year. I'm trying to remember. I know we had at least one winner. Complete the above and submit your application by May 12th, 2023. So let me show you the application. You need to log in to Verizon. There's actually a few steps, so I'm not going to go through it. But like I said, it's a good one. And so, again, it's open to all business owners. So keep that in mind. Anyone interested in that, and any questions so far before I talk about at least 2 more grants, especially a surprise one that we just posted 10 minutes ago, just before going live, 15 minutes ago. That's coming up here as well. Okay. And Skip, this is a good question. I think I need to know if there are any loans that I can get where I don't need to make $10,000 per month. If I was making that much, I probably wouldn't need a loan for my business. So that's a great question. There's a lot of, I'm talking about SBA microloans tomorrow. Those are loans up to $50,000 at fairly good terms. And so on your Skip dashboard, let me show you here. If you want to join that one tomorrow, you can always go here to webinars. Here are the upcoming webinars. So this is the one tomorrow. I'm going to talk about SBA microloans. So that's a good option. There's other good CDFI options as well, where they won't look, to your point, you know, if you have 10,000 a month, whether it's gross or net revenue, that's still pretty good. Many of you are before that stage. So yeah, would love to connect and help you out directly as a member. Any new grants for startup grants for small business? So a few of these are for startups, including this next one, I believe. It depends on your type of business, but I believe Verizon is as well. So how do you register for Verizon? Michael asks. Log in here. Well, click the link. I think this link is either in the description or on the app. You'll find it. And then when you click go to application here, it will take you to this page. It's a long URL, so I'm not going to read it. But then register for the Verizon 10K grant. Yeah, it's a good one. Again, it's popular. But not so popular that you don't have a chance. So I don't want to dissuade people from applying for it. And so JC, I hope that answered your question about low interest loans. If you have questions about that, I think in the description, we also have a few private partners, you know, Blue Vine, Funding Circle. We have some links to those guys. They're fairly good. Some of those require revenue, but my mantra is give it a shot, right? As long as we can tell you about the options that exist for you, you can decide whether or not it's worth your time to apply for it. If it's not worth your time, you don't have enough time, hopefully you can lean on companies like us that can help you along the way. So do microloans require collateral? No. Oh, I'm trying to pull up this comment here. There it is. Do microloans require collateral? SBA microloans do not, at least for everything we've seen, they don't. There might be an exception, but since they're 50,000 or lower, you know, they'll typically look at credit and business plan to see where you're at, assess your situation, right? You can often get a credit card line of credit for that much solely based on your credit score. Blends of Nature BK, which process was very easy? Would love to hear which one you found easy, and maybe others should apply for that as well. Okay, the Jobber grant. I applied for the Jobber grant, but I don't know if my application went through. How can I keep track of it on the Jobber platform? Great question. So here's the Jobber grant. 25 grants ranging from 2,500 to 15,000 to every type of home service professional. So a lot of the businesses we work with are services-based businesses, and many are home service professionals, whether you're just starting out or whether you're an experienced home services business. So, you know, many of you may be wanting to start a home services business. This would be an option for you. You must be a home service business owner or aspiring business owner, over 18, complete a 5-minute application by June. You've got till June. Fatima, yeah, and it's a type form they use here. So once you go through it, Fatima, I don't know if you got a confirmation email or not. Would love to hear. Yeah, but assuming that you got something when you submitted the application. So yeah, it's fairly straightforward to run through this type form and your industry. I'm not going to go through it all here, but you can get the idea. So one more bonus grant to share with you, one or two more, I'm losing track, but that's the Jobber grant. So that's a good one. And again, home services business, it can be any type of business owner. It's not demographic specific. Okay, Debbie says she got a confirmation email from Jobber. That's great to hear. And speaking of, we have about 400 people so far interested in the Jobber grant. And one thing to share, I think when you're in the app, if you know other businesses that could use this information and you want to share, it's your choice whether to share with them or not, but you can always send them the link. So we made it easy to share. Okay. And I think we had a poll going up at the beginning. I can't remember if we have some results there. Let me see. Yeah, we've got okay. So here are the poll results we put up. Thanks everyone who answered. Have you applied for a grant yet in April? 77% said not yet. 22% said yes. So we've got 40 votes there. So that's good. Let's try to make that 100%. Of course, every member, you can answer yes, because if you are a Skip member, we've automatically applied for this month's grants for you. Not only this month, but every month going forward, at least through 2024. So congrats to that. Okay. Now, there's a Hello Alice grant I want to tell you about. And again, all of these are on the Skip dashboard. So whether you're on the app or on the website, a lot of these resources and the recording here. So if you have to jump off early or come back later, you'll see this on your Skip dashboard. Okay, here we go. Hello Alice. And we're different than Hello Alice is in that we drop the hello at the beginning of our name. We just refer to ourselves as Skip. I think we're, we'll be ahead of the Skip dictionary result fairly soon in Google search. I think we're 5 or 6, somewhere there. Okay. Small Business Growth Fund, Hello Alice just announced this. Deadline is the 21st. So I think that's next Friday. You must be a for-profit business located in the U.S. or any of the territories or D.C., less than 1 million in 2022 gross annual revenue. So that's gross revenue, not profit. Clear commitment to your customers and community, clear plan to how the funds will help them achieve a significant growth in 2023. Again, apply by next Friday. We've just listed this. Many of you know Hello Alice. They have a lot of funding partners. So the link, you'll see the link to this on the app or on your dashboard. So go there and add it to your dashboard. Since we just put this up, I can't give you a good number on how many people have applied for it. Actually, let me refresh and see how many people are already applying for it since we posted it 20 minutes ago. 25 people in the last 20 minutes. So yeah, that's listed on the app. As soon as you show you're interested, of course, as you know, you get this confetti and you can go directly. Oh, you'll see a little bit more detail and then go to application. That's it. You got to sign in. All right. Those are the main grants. I know we went through more than 5 today. I'm going to answer a few questions here. And Michael, if you want to get to the Skip dashboard, again, helloskip.com/dashboard, that'll get you to all of this information. And the same thing on the app as well. Any questions? M. Britt asks, when they say up to X employees, does that exclude me as an LLC with only me as an employee? So if you're paying yourself as a W-2, you should count yourself as an employee. So that'd be 1. So if they say, but I assume you're trying to fall under a threshold, so you probably are safe there, right? If it's just you, if it says less than 100, I assume you're less than 100. All right. Sandara has some good insight on Dell. Challenging application that teaches as we apply, and Verizon. All right. So glad to hear, Sandara, you're going for it. I encourage everyone to go for it, and then we'll share some insights. I think this is fantastic to be able to see in real time the interest in a lot of these grants. I think I just rattled off 7. And of course, many of you are also going after loans at the same time and funding. So I always want to encourage you, wherever you're at as a business owner, grants is usually just one strategy, right? To be opportunistic, because if you don't shoot, you never score. You'll never score. So, if you don't apply for grants, you'll never get it in. And one of the biggest insights we've seen in the data, we're looking at it right now, is lots of people have momentum at this stage. You've just discovered a grant, you're tracking it, you're reading about it, but 85% never apply. So I always want to say, like, I think everyone in the skip community, you're above average. And so you can buck the trends and apply, be the 15% of folks that are applying as opposed to 85% that aren't applying. Okay. And so another question here before we wrap: can I apply for business grants for my business that was established in January 2022? Yes, I think a few of these I just went through. You can be a new business owner. It will say usually in our description, see, here we go, like this Women of Color Grants Program, which I don't think applies to you, Mr. Henke, but 1 to 5 years in business preferred. So or sometimes they'll say, we want you to be 3 years in business or at least 1 year in business. So we'll typically list that right here. And okay, any of these grants available to Uber drivers? That's a great question. So our skip grants are, Janet, and I think, I'm not sure if a few others for women-owned businesses, you may have a case to be made. But usually, though, a lot of these want you to have an entity, like an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, but some are for sole proprietorships as well. But that's a great question. It's a common question we get, and we're always trying to find more funding opportunities for Uber drivers, rideshare drivers, delivery workers, etc. Oh, this is great. Debbie, thanks for weighing in. Jobber, and you believe Hello Alice does have one for drivers also. So thanks for chiming in. All right. And as always, it's so great to see so many of you. I hope to see some of you tomorrow, especially if you have questions about EIDL loans, for those of you who that's relevant for, or SBA microloans. That we had a couple questions today on microloans. If you say, oh, I also could use low interest loans of up to 50K, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. But I encourage you to all go discover these. And by the way, there's 10 more on the app right now that I didn't talk about. If you run through the list, we're always looking. So have faith that we're always looking. Have faith that when I ask where you're watching from, our team then goes and uses that to go look in certain areas. And some big things are coming in terms of asking, more about your background, so we can surface more grants specifically for you. So there we go. And thank you. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Great to see so many familiar faces. And as always, leave questions here, or for all of you as members, get in touch with us or your client success manager. All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Take care.